everybody, it's your girl Passion Monet, aka Pmbexquisite, and I am back with Vlogmas Day 6, y'all. Vlogmas Day 6. So today in this video, it's a more serious video. We are speaking about a sensitive area for me. So it's kind of like a hard video to make, but I feel like once I make this video, it's gonna help others. It's gonna be liberating for me, and just I don't know. I feel like I'll be free after I release this video. So y'all, I know y'all read about the title and y'all like, what, girl, huh? Yes, y'all. Yes. I actually had to deal with homelessness. I actually had to stay in a shelter before. And I'm gonna tell y'all my experiences, the things that happened, lessons learned, and all of that stuff. So first of all, let's get into how all of this started. So we're gonna take it way back to the apartment days that y'all know about. So I had that apartment for what, about 5 years, I want to say. I had that apartment, but all throughout that time, it was always problems with that apartment. Always, either there was some type of pest going on, or it was problems where the rent, I couldn't afford it for 1 month, or I fell behind and I caught back up, and I fell behind, caught back up. So it was things like that. But yeah, so I came to the executive decision, like, I need to leave this toxic situation. That way I could get back on track, start over, start fresh. And that's what I did, y'all. But I didn't plan it how I needed to plan it. So that's one lesson learned. When you want to leave a situation to better yourself, make sure you have a plan A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. Because y'all, I didn't. But I know now. At least I know now. So, yeah. And no, I didn't get evicted. I left on my own. Again, the place had pests. The rent was just, it wasn't in my budget at the time. And the job I had, I couldn't really, that schedule was just up and down. It was just, I'm the type of person that needs a flexible schedule where I can work on the times that I want to work, be off at the time I want to be off. So that's just it. Just is what it was. Now we're gonna get to experiences when I actually got into the shelter. So when I got there, first of all, I was told by the caseworker, you're gonna have your own private area, private room, things like that. But once I actually got to the place, it was no privacy, y'all. Like, no doors, just out in the open. I'm gonna show y'all, I'm gonna put a clip on the side so y'all can see actually what it was like. But at that time, I was already there. There was no other place to go with my son. So it's like, okay, we had to stay here. We had to deal with this for a while. And there was no Wi-Fi for a long time at that place. There was no Wi-Fi. It was limited amounts of plugs where you could charge your phone and stuff like that. And then I had to deal with roommates, right? Now y'all know I'm an introvert. I don't feel like being bothered with people. My son don't either. He's an introvert too. So having a roommate was like college again. Like, no, I can't do the roommate thing. But yeah, we had to get through it. We actually had to get through it with roommates. And once one roommate left, a couple of months we went without a roommate. And then my last roommate, we got really close because her son's age was the same age as my son. Although my son was an introvert, so he didn't really talk as much, but yeah. That's one of the cons. And then bathroom. So you had to have, most of the time it was, well, I ain't gonna say most of the time it was clean. It wasn't clean all of the time, so you ended up having to clean it yourself or go through stuff yourself, bring your own supplies to clean up. Basically what you would do anyway. But yeah, had to do that for the bathroom and the shower. And then, I don't know, it was just a lot. But I also had to deal with like fights in the facility. So, I mean, it wasn't too often, but it was happening. And you know, like for a person that's not usually around stuff like that, it'll be traumatizing. So I guess that's just what came with it. I'll never do that again. That's one of the biggest things I learned. It could be even more traumatizing. You have to have limited privacy. It's dirty. And then some of the staff was mean, like, And then it was a Christian facility for the most part. It was a Christian facility. It was in a church, right? So I would expect the staff to be nice, to be caring, which some of the staff was, but some of them were really nasty, really mean, and threatening as well. Not to me, but to the other people that were there. So I don't know. I just really hated that part of it. But I was grateful for everything that I did receive and the resources I got while there. Another thing I wanted to talk about, y'all, was the part of balancing motherhood while going through it. Because my son, he had just became a teenager. He had just turned 13, and he's used to having his own everything, own room, just own privacy, all of that stuff. Mind you, all our stuff is in storage. So when we got there, he was just having a meltdown because there's no doors for one. At the time, there was no Wi-Fi. We had it towards the end. They brought the Wi-Fi finally. Limited coverage. You know, he liked to charge his phone. He liked to have his headphones, Bluetooth phones, all of that stuff. So he was just going crazy, and it was affecting his behavior. And my son, I don't know, he isn't really a bad behavior type of kid. So I knew that it was because of the situation that was going on. So that was one of the things I had to balance. Like, oh my gosh, I'm putting my son through more trauma, first of all, because there's people fighting here. Then he's saying he doesn't feel comfortable because he doesn't have any privacy. So it was just so much stuff going on that I had to deal with, and it just really was affecting my mental, you know? So that brings me to my other topic. How did I stay calm through the situation? Just how did I try to stay as positive as I can through that situation? So one of the things I did do was go back to school, which y'all saw in previous videos. I started going back because I'm still working towards my nursing. So I went back, did my medical terminology class. I got my certification in CNA all while going through this situation because I had to keep my brain alert. I had to keep my brain busy just so I could stay focused. That's the main thing, staying focused. Also working flexible shifts. Because that place had a curfew of 8:30, I had to kind of finagle different shifts, different things where I could work flexible shifts, take off when I can, work when I can. And I found that I like that better. I like that flexible schedule better. For me, I could get a lot of stuff done. And if my son had an event, I could go to the event because I had flexible shift. If something came up, I could quickly cancel without penalty and pick up another shift if I could. Also, I did things to make me happy. I started going to the movies more, which I love. Now I made it a regular thing where I go Tuesdays and Wednesdays because it's 50% off tickets at AMC. Just in case y'all don't know, AMC Theaters 50% off tickets on Tuesdays and Wednesdays if you remember. Also, just going out, taking myself out, going downtown Chicago, just looking at the scenery. It made me have a newfound appreciation for nature, just going out and enjoying all of Chicago, and just appreciating the finer things in life, appreciating the small things in life too. So that's what I will say this whole experience has taught me and what I've learned. And now I know what to take into the new year. And I know also to focus on my health as well. I've seen people there that was going crazy, like not taking care of their health, getting sick, falling out, having to call the ambulance, all of that. And I met people from all walks of life while I was there. It was people that were running from their life for domestic violence, people that moved from a different state, people that came from another state because their mom died and they were just staying there temporarily. It was just all walks of life of people. And it just made me think, like, you never know what people are going through. So I hope this video helps someone to stay motivated, y'all. You can get your stuff done while you're going through situations. I got my CNA license. I went back to school. I worked on my health. I figured out what works for me. And I want other people to figure out what works for them, what makes them happy. And don't give up, y'all. Don't give up. You can do it. No matter how it looks at that moment, you can do it. It can happen for you. I love y'all. I will see y'all tomorrow in Vlogmas Day 7. No. I'm sorry. I will see y'all tomorrow in Vlogmas Day... What is this? This is actually Vlogmas Day 5, I think. Yeah, this is Vlogmas Day 5. I will see y'all. I'm losing my mind, y'all. I will see y'all in Vlogmas Day 6 tomorrow. I love y'all. Remember, stay focused, stay positive. Even when it looks like you don't know what the future is going to hold, y'all. Stay positive. Stay true to yourself. You can do it. God is not going to put more on you than you can handle. I love y'all.